Secondly, Wiley's asked me to talk to you today about how I approach getting students to understand the relationship between the external users and the financial statements. And I do this in my intro course by asking them relatively early on, second or third class, to bring a CV or a copy of their resume to class. And then when they get there, we start to compare the different CVs people have brought. Some are one page, some are two, whether they've played up their education or whether they've talked about job experience. And we talk about the CV as a document that they use, that they choose to tell the outside world about themselves. And that's exactly what a set of financial statements is. It's a document a company produces to produce for outside external users about information they choose to tell those users. Like with the CV, there are different users. Maybe the CV is geared toward job search, or getting a scholarship, or getting a research position. And students could alter their CV depending on who they thought the user were. But we don't really want corporations altering their CV or altering their financial statements. We don't want them looking less profitable for the tax department, more profitable for the shareholders, maybe like they've got big cash flow for the banks. We have to narrow that down and make sure that they're using one general purpose financial statement that can be used for all purposes, and that we don't have conflicting versions of it floating around out there. So we come up with generally accepted accounting principles or some guidelines that help them produce financial statements that are going to be useful to external users. We also talk a little bit about whether students are truthful on their CV, whether perhaps they've omitted some information or embellished some other information, and whether they think companies might be tempted to do the same thing, maybe omit some information or add some other information or make different estimates that make them look more profitable than they are. And so that gets the student thinking about what these financial statements are, how reliable they may be or may not be, and how they reflect back on the company.